Hello.
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 Hello. And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome
And welcome to
Backseat Genius. To Backseat Genius.
The Backseat Genius.
the Backseat Genius.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 4 of The Backseat, a Lorcana podcast from the Backseat Genius competitive team. Today we'll be recapping set champs so far, and we also have a special guest with us. But first, we want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, Supernova Toys and Collectibles. Make sure to check them out at supernovatnc.com. They give us love, we give them love, bring the love to everybody, love in the Lorcana community all around. All right, so first, we'll put Jeff on the back burner. I got to say hi to my boys. We got Johnnie and Justine and myself coming back again. Teddy's still busy. We still have him locked in the closet. How are you two doing this week?
Finding the keys for Teddy actually, because he's locked in there. So hopefully he could finally get out. How's everyone doing?
We gave him Cheez-Its. He's fine.
We're good. We're all good on this side.
Same.
All right. And then we got the man with the fancy green screen, Mr. Jeff, aka Jbaum, is our special guest today. Some of you may have already met him or interacted with him through the various Lorcana Discords or online. He's also a member of one of our favorite Lorcana teams. Jeff, hello. How are you doing? How's it going?
I'm doing good. Just finished the first week of the Lumineer Champions League, and it was really, really fun. So I'm excited to be here, and thanks for having me on today.
Yeah, great to have you. Thanks for coming on. For those that don't know, Jeff is also a Chicagoland local, so we've run into him from time to time, giving him some hugs, some pats on the back. You know, he's one of the boys, but someone else scooped him up, so we talk to him when we can.
True.
So, for those that don't spend too much time online, aren't terminally online, Jeff, why don't you tell the people who you are? For those that don't recognize the Jbaum name or the chunky logo, who are you?
Yep. So I'm Jbaum. I'm from Chicago. I've been basically playing competitive card games my entire life, starting with Yu-Gi-Oh! Back right when it launched, qualifying for nationals every year I played. After I stopped that, I went into Hearthstone. I qualified for nationals the first year of Hearthstone competitive circuit. Almost made it to BlizzCon, just lost out on some horrible luck. But then have played took a long break in card games. And then actually the owner of Top Cut was on my Yu-Gi-Oh team back in the day, and he told me to come by and buy some Lorcana packs. And I asked if he would give me a discount. He said absolutely not, but I still came and got some packs. And loved the game. I mostly wanted to get into it to play with my wife, but I got more into it than she did, and have been playing like hyper competitively ever since. I think I ran into Justine at the first local. He was my first defeat ever in a tournament. And then after that, I didn't lose for like 6 tournaments in a row. And so Justine was my arch enemy from like day one of this game.
That's true. Actually, I remember that. Amber Steel. No, that was green yellow.
Green, yellow, lemon, lime for my Ruby Amethyst.
This guy used to stay on Pixelborn. What would you say is probably the most matches in a single day that you played?
So I have a very, I guess what a doctor would call an OCD type personality for playing games, and so I didn't play Pixelborn often, but when I did play Pixelborn, it would be like 16 to 20 hours in that day, going from like a very low ranking to like the top of the like ladder within just that day of just grinding and ordering Uber Eats and not taking breaks. And then I'd show up to a tournament and that's how I'd prepare for a tournament. Is I would just do that, get like 50 to 200 games in, and then go do like one of the TIA tournaments.
Insane. That's insane.
There you go. I mean, that's
Speaking
one way to do it.
Did you guys see that Tia's selling off her entire collection?
I did see that, yeah.
No
Yeah,
way.
that threw me off the other day. I was like, what's going on? Because she made like a statement about how they haven't invited her to like cast or whatever. And so she was moving on, and then I saw that she was like selling everything.
Ooh.
Yeah,
What
kind
an
of
upset,
wild.
actually.
She was
Wow.
like super. She was like a super. I don't know if I'd say pioneer, kind of pioneer, but she was like a
Oh yeah,
huge reason why
100%.
it was blowing up. Obviously, because of the tournaments.
Yeah,
100%.
and the reason I got into like the next level of tournament play was because of her online Pixelborn tournaments.
Yeah,
They provided so much good competitive, basically feedback for me.
content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
That's
yeah, it
actually
was
kind of
great. So
upsetting.
that I mean, since the fall of Pixelborn, it's been kind of. I feel like it's not. It hasn't felt the same, but hopefully we get back on that trend. DLCs are obviously still going strong, but hopefully we
Yeah,
get
we
some sort
got
of client soon.
set champs to throw stuff at the wall, and then
Yeah,
True.
DLCs, and that's kind of what we got right now.
yeah.
I mean, speaking of set champs, Jeff, you have a bit of a history with set champs, don't you?
I do. I had to skip last week because I've got a baby being born, and so we had a double baby shower last Saturday and Sunday. She's due next month, but yeah, I've done pretty well at the set champs. I've won 11 promos in 12 set champs, with my only loss being to a team kill at min max by Boomy Junior's stupid Tiana aggro deck.
Yeah, I think the only set champs I've managed to see you at, and it's the one that I don't get to play you in Top Cut.
Yeah, and that was also the smallest set champ because I think there was like 12 people.
Oh yeah, that was
So, I
a
mean, I still
that was a
technically
tiny one.
I still top eighted. Just no promo at that one.
Wait, did you top at the one that like you played Jeremy at? You said when he was playing the green
Yeah, I
purple.
lost to him in top four. That was the first set
Okay,
champ I ever played in.
okay.
Um, yeah, he nutted on me pretty good in 3 games.
Oh,
I think
Sorry, Ted.
I think in all 3 games he opened triple Merfolk.
No shot, bro. Obviously, you're on red blue, right?
Always, yeah,
Just
yeah.
better.
Yeah, true. Play better deck.
Yeah, and I have a memory where I remember every game I've ever lost like turn for turn. So if you
Oh
ever
my
want to go
god.
back, I can recite them all.
Oh
oh
my
man,
god.
I don't think I
Jeff's
can remember what I had for
This
breakfast.
guy's Magnus Carlsen, dude.
dude, Jeff's actually one of like the giants that always like people always want to dodge in like set champs. Like every time I ask people like online or like just in person, I'm like, "Where you guys going?" They were like, "Wherever Jeff's not in." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah,
geez."
and I've never been to the same set champ you've been at.
That's true, actually. That's true. Yeah, not on purpose, not on
Yeah,
purpose, but
Dude, I
yeah.
went to like six,
And I
five
always
set
go on
champs
set
the first
champs.
time. Did we? I don't think we were at one. The first set
the
champs.
first set champ, no, I don't think so because I
No,
played
not
at.
either. Yeah.
I went
Where
to
the
like
hell did you
5 or
guys go?
6.
I never went more than 15 minutes from my house. You guys were all traveling everywhere.
I wasn't traveling.
I
I
was.
traveled
but we
one.
were.
Because there was the only one on a Friday. It was in Wisconsin. So
You
I
guys got
traveled
it
for that
so
one. That's it.
easy. I gotta drive like at
Dude.
least an hour for every single one.
Hey,
Yeah,
when
hey,
I
you gotta
bought my
move.
home, I made sure it was directly next to a highway on ramp.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean,
Oh my god.
I talking to the girlfriend, just like talking about plans down the road and stuff, and I was like, we move in together, like we could go this direction because it's closer to all the LGSs that host
She
set
pulls up the
champs.
map. It's just 14 LGSs right in a
Yeah.
20-minute span.
It's like, why do all these random spots have pins? It's like, oh, that's where all the set champs were from the last 3 sets.
That's where it all
He's
is.
like, that's
This
where we're
one
gonna
pays
make
double
new memories.
boxes.
Yeah. So for those that didn't get terrorized by you in paper, Jeff, people might have run into you online. I know you spend a lot of time in the Lorcana discords. Do you want to give us just kind of like a real
lot of
real
time.
short form what your Lorcana history is? I know you mentioned some red purple and some red blue and stuff, but what's that look like?
Yeah, so set one, I'm pretty much a one deck wonder per set type person where I need a lot of reps to fully. I can play most decks very well, but in order to win these top tournaments, you need to have a complete understanding of the deck you're playing. So and that comes with playing a lot of reps because there's certain play lines that you only see from just playing 50 to 100 games that you can't
True.
see just by reading guides and whatnot. There's like an example that comes up is breaking a dime with Flaversham. Doesn't seem like something you ever want to do. I do it a lot, and like
okay.
knowing those situations, it makes all the difference. And so I started and just played Ruby Amethyst all of set one. I switched to Steel Song for 1K, and those mirror matches were the worst things I've ever experienced. Like in my life, it's just sit there, play a
Cogs.
Mexican standoff, and wait till someone draws
Turn
2 gravity
8,
swords or a big
yeah.
tank.
It's
yeah.
whoever gets the 2 cogs first, bro.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Well, that's Blue Steel.
Oh, I thought that's what you said. My bad.
Yeah, no, Steel Song. But
Oh yeah.
and then for set 2, I played Grand Pabby Red Blue
I
the
hated
entire
it.
set.
I hated
Uh,
it.
I think I won. I won like 11 or 8 out of 11 tournaments I played in with Grand Pabby, and nobody was playing that. It wasn't on anybody's radar, and it could do 2 things. It could beat Blue Steel and Steel Song, or I guess 3 things, and Ruby Amethyst. And so I had a 0% win rate through the entire format against aggro, and so I would lose on turn 5 or 6 against that. But for those other 3 decks, especially Blue Steel, I think I had 100% win rate for Blue Steel throughout set 2. I think Justine was one of my biggest victims of that set. And then set 3 came around, and I started with Red Blue from day 1 with Dimes and Grammatalas, and was just like running up the Pixelborn ladder. Nobody else was on that at the time, and it was just working so well. So I really, really just enjoyed Red Blue there. And I'm a big player where I don't like to be out of the games, and I think that's why I don't like these tempo decks as much. With Red Blue, until they hit that last 20 lore, you are in the game and still have a chance. And so that's why I gravitate towards that. I didn't like Red Blue in set 4. I thought it had a lot of weak matchups. So then I actually switched to Blue Steel because I thought Blue Steel just had the least bad matchups and could win in everything. And I think Lorcana, more than other card games, has a lot of skill differentials where the longer the game goes, the more and more micro decisions on inking there is. And so you can hopefully capitalize on people making more mistakes than you and take Blue Steel and Red Blue to wins in there. Whereas like in hyper aggro games, you're playing 5 to 10 turns, and there's a lot less chance for people to make mistakes and for you to win the game just based on your skill set.
I honestly feel like if you, I'm a big believer that if Jeff was able to come or go to like at least how many DLCs we've had now? 4, going to 5.
Atlanta,
I feel like
Chicago,
if you were
Toronto,
able to go to 4
5.
of them, at least 4, I feel like you had a chance to like at least in my head like top 4.
Yeah.
I honestly think you had a big chance.
I
'Cause, like
appreciate
the decks
that.
that you played were like strong to begin with, but like they're I feel like most of the time correct, because I feel like every time I play a deck, I feel like you were the counter to that, to like whatever deck I'm playing, which I feel like is correct because like
Yeah,
it's a stronger deck. That's how it is.
I never want to be the top target of the format. I want to be like almost one step ahead of somebody with the deck that's beating the top target and then beating the counter to that top target. And so that's why I didn't like Red Blue in set 4. And now I'm in a weird spot where Red Blue is that like target in set 5, but the deck is just so good, and even the counters aren't that good into it. So it doesn't even matter. So I'm still sticking with
you kind
Red
of just
Blue.
like play through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give Jeff some credit. Like I like to rag on him a lot, but top 4 DLC, I guess it's not that hard. I think he could do it.
I'd sure like to. I keep getting beat by my wife's friend's wedding boss. So I've had like 3 weddings on DLC dates, and then I had to miss Chicago, which the convention center is like 20 minutes from my house or something crazy. So that one was unfortunate. That one hurt the most. But I had a vacation planned, and me and my wife have never gone on vacation. And so then they announced the Chicago dates. I was like, yeah, they're coming to Chicago. And then I saw that date, and I was like, this is the only thing I have planned the entire year.
So this is probably a spot where I admit that the same weekend as Vegas was one of my friend's weddings. And I'm like, dude, look, I can't really get into it right now, but I got to go on a work trip. Like,
trip.
I'll hang out with you after.
Yeah, if it was my friend's wedding.
Also in Vegas?
What?
Or did you take like a flight to afterwards?
No. I'm like, dude, I'll catch up with you in a couple months, like see how it's going. But I got a work trip that weekend.
Oh dang, okay.
No shot.
Yeah, if it was one of my friends' weddings that weekend, I would have just gone. Get out of there.
Drops
See
the
ya.
mic.
I'm going to the DLC.
Disconnects.
Yeah, that's crazy actually.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
so,
talking about you, Tom.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and,
to answer your original question was, I'm pretty active in 20 lore Discord, and so you can see my little chunky guys, my avatar. And I wrote I think it's a 54-page red blue guide on how to play red blue, the turns, the mulligans into each matchup, and then math for the mulligans and simulations on mulligans and why I pick those cards and send those cards back. And so I went into some rabbit holes of detail on there and have gotten a lot of good feedback with it. So if you're ever interested in reading some crazy, intricate, detailed red blue stuff, I'm your man. I got to compete with Sailor on his guide, and his has the history, but mine's also good for different reasons. We both do things really well for it, and it's good to read both of them.
Yeah, as someone that has read both, I would definitely say like they're both valuable to have. You know, if you're gonna get one, you probably want to get the other.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna claim to have helped Jeff at all, but I did give it a once over at one point before he released it, so I can say it has like half of my seal of approval.
I did have Hamza review it, and he had the funniest comment because he goes, I disagree with this mulligan. I think you mulliganed wrong here. It was too greedy. And I was like, did you read the description? He goes, no. And the description was, this is an incorrect mulligan. Don't do this. This is too greedy. And I was like, hey, he got there too. He got the same conclusion.
Yeah, you know, that's always good. Double checking your homework like that.
Oh,
Hamza's the guy that's like cheating off your test and doesn't realize that you're on page 2 and is just like filling out all his bubbles wrong.
Oh yeah.
And then you know, talking about like more recent stuff, you just mentioned you were on the Illuminator Champions League. Do you want to tell us about that a little bit?
I just finished like 20-30 minutes ago. With the Challenge League, they're taking teams every week. I don't know if every week or whatever, but this was like the first practice exhibition match, so nothing official yet, but just trying to lay the groundwork of what it's going to be. And so Ink Thieves went against Team Labyrinth today, and we got absolutely destroyed.
You guys got 1 point on the board.
We got 1 point on the board. R2 took out Sailor, and so
this is a perfect time for Ted to cut to what Tom said before we officially started.
Oh, yeah.
True.
This would be a perfect time.
And so round 1 was a purple steel mirror match aggro, which was unexpected. And that was actually really, really interesting to watch. And then round 2 was me versus Zenulus, and he was playing green purple, and I of course was on red blue. Both games I drew pretty bad. He didn't draw very good in game 2, and so it was one of the more intricate and intriguing games to ever watch. I can't recommend this game enough because this was one of the hardest games I've ever played in terms of decision making. Because the choices with visions were so not optimal, and I had to keep. I did my favorite play of Shimmering Dime. It was such a good game, and I definitely could have won game 2 if I Medusa to Bonsai over a Lyle, but these are the kind of things that haunt me. So like I'll be up all night reliving every turn in my head and processing how to not lose that way again. And then game 1, I thought I had a 100% chance of winning, and then he green Chromacon, and that card single-handedly just soloed the entire game. Anytime I killed something, it's like my board was Tamatoa and Big Sisu to his rabbit, and he plays green Chromacon, and now I'm just like, oh, okay, like I'll just lose all my big guys now, and so he's just flooding the board with little wieners, and I lose all my big boys.
That's actually pretty good. It's actually pretty interesting. Is it a 2-game format or was it best of 3?
It was best of 3.
Okay. What was the reason for the Lyle? What was going through your head? And how did you
going through my head, he had 2 cards in his hand, and then his board was.
Bounce? Do you think it was usually keep bouncing and stop your Hiram from drawing, or what was it?
So his board was Lyle and Bonsai, and he was at 8 or 9 lore, and with two cards in hand, and so I had 4 lore, and I thought that he was pretty much out of gas because he hadn't played a rabbit, and he had a bunch of weak turns in a row, which was like floating ink and stuff. So if he had a rabbit, he would have played it. So I thought that I was going to be able to just race away and that he wasn't going to have any more gas. But what he ended up having was 3 turns in a row of quest, bounce, replay it, that I couldn't answer the bonsai. And so then he ends up getting to 19 lore, and I have lethal on turn, but he had the goat to finish me off. And so that's one of those games where even in my guide, I say, kill the bonsai. Don't overthink it. Kill the bonsai. And I sat there and I overthought it, and I got hard punished. I was like, but wait, this is like the one situation where I think killing the Lyle might be better because I'm not going to be able to answer the Lyle. But like, I even thought in my head too. I haven't seen any brawls yet, so it's very likely that I draw something to kill the Lyle. So that's going to be the big play that haunts me in that tournament. Because if I would have just done the other way, it would have been over.
So you're saying read the guide, don't watch your gameplay.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He was just doing that as like a public, like, this is what my guide doesn't say. It does say not to do. It's going anti-guide, and this is what happens when you do that. So you're just showing what
Hey,
happens
right.
when you go against
That's
the
perfect.
guide.
You can go clip it and then like, stitch yourself on there and throw that on TikTok. Get
There you
some
go.
I knew
Yeah,
it
get
was
some
streamed.
Lorcana
That's
bites
actually
going.
pretty nice.
And I was using my labyrinth sticker whenever he gave my characters reckless to remind myself.
Oh my god.
There you go.
There's no way Jeff has those. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, and then of course I had to bring all the foil
The
nuts out.
Nazis, no.
There's no way you just bought all those as a joke.
Yeah, dude, he has them. He
There
has
might
them,
be
bro.
a little way. I didn't buy all of
Nah,
them.
dude.
There was a while where people would just come up to me at tournaments and give me foil nutsies, like people I had
how
never
many
met
you have now?
before.
You have like
I've
at least
almost got
100?
100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Foil nutsies?
Oh,
yeah. I was
yeah.
giving my opponents in Atlanta foil nutsies when I beat
Oh
them.
yeah.
but-
Oh yeah. That was his thing. Yep.
Oh my! If there's ever
It's
a
just like
combo
leaving
that-
your
if
calling
there's
card.
ever a combo
Yeah.
that comes out with nutsy, you're rich, dude.
Bro, if someone just came up, like if someone beats me and just leaves me a Nazi, I'd be like, what?
He beats you
There's
dry.
had
no
to-
shot. I'd be
I
like,
had to stop
Walks
doing it after the
away.
one guy goes, "Can you sign it for me first?" And I was like, "Oh, this is like heartbreaking now. I can't
Oh, yeah,
do this
true.
one anymore."
I'm gonna be honest, I definitely I went up to a couple of the lab guys at Vegas, like signed some of my ink tokens. I was like, I know you guys are gonna be like way too nervous to come talk to me, so you can just have these.
Hey, and your signed Great Stone Dragon was on stream with Sailor playing it today.
Let's go. Oh man, that's perfect. Because last time him and I talked about that card, he DM'd me after, I think it was after Dallas. And he's like, yeah, so I ended up playing one Stone Dragon. Thanks for sending me the signed ones. Also, I inked it literally all day and day 2. And I never played it once. I was like, you know what? That's fine.
At least it was there.
Oh
It did
my
win him the
God.
game in game 3 because he had like 20 or so ink and was able to just Tabatoa dime shenanigans over and over again.
So are
Stone
you coming
Dragon, I
around on
felt
it at
like
all?
from testing it is
Uh,
such a weird
no.
one.
I
Stone
still don't
Dragon?
like it. I might
Yeah,
try
Stone
one in
Dragon's
place of
weird.
a fishbone with how like Steel Song is like going out of the picture. Maybe I'll try one tomorrow at Set Champs. Are you guys
It's
going
like-
to Energy?
S-
Ooh,
Oh, he's
Energy
happy
has
about
those tomorrow.
Right,
He's
you
like
going
free
Energy?
pickings.
Is that where you're
Yeah.
going? Energy?
I'm going to
How many
Energy.
people are signed up?
There's like 15 signed up at Energy
Oh,
and
that's not
15
bad.
signed up for
Okay.
that like cafe in Shorewood next to my brother's house. So I'm debating between the two.
Oh
We're
no,
going
I got homework to
Zion, which
do,
is
but
crazy far, but there's like 28 people like committed already. So I'm like, all right, I guess
At
I'll go.
Hobbytown?
I've never heard of this store. I have to check it out, but it's in Zion. I don't know.
Okay.
It's not Hobbytown.
Oh, gotcha. I saw Hobbytown as like the fullest one tomorrow.
It was like prime time. Prime time is that a thing?
Oh,
Prime
yep,
time?
yep. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Mm.
it's prime time. Yeah.
all right. So maybe I'll see if I can just like convince myself to finish all my homework Sunday, and maybe I'll see if I can make it out tomorrow. Speaking of which,
Big risk.
what should I play for Set Champs? It's just got to be red blue, right?
Always.
Are you playing anything? Have you played anything other than that since or in a while?
Wait,
So
so,
I'd
this
say
is your
green
first
steel then.
set champs, right, Jeff?
Yep, first one for this set. Yeah.
How about you, SPJ? This is your
Me
first
what?
set champs? Oh no,
Bro,
you have.
you know
Did
what?
you play?
I
Did you
actually
play at
have a
all?
bone to
Actually,
pick with Ravensburger? Why am I
sure.
blanking? But ever since, dude, having it on weekdays too, letting them do that was so much better because some of us work
I think
Saturday,
so.
Sunday,
I think
dude.
well,
And then you have DLC. So what? I gotta request off for
it's
set
only
champs
weekends.
and
Yeah,
DLC.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
come
I
on.
will
Like, I don't,
say,
have all the PTO in the world, or if I do, like, I'm not in a position to really be asking that much time off. So it's like
No, especially not
having
for this
some
set
weekdays
champs.
was actually really, really nice. So I only get to go to the Chupa one because they're the only ones that hold it at 10 p.m.
yeah.
So I can go after work. So the
God,
last
you
two
guys are
sets,
crazy for that one.
dude,
Dude,
that's
you
the
guys
only
are
one I can
dude.
go to. The last two
It ended at
sets, it
like
was
7 in the
literally
morning.
one.
No.
Oh, it ends when my wife is like getting up for the day, and like I'm driving home as the sun comes up, and it is awful. Like,
When I saw the Discord blowing up at like 6 in the morning, I'm like,
Yeah,
it just ended.
dude,
uh,
What the
dude,
hell?
yeah, it
I, I
sucks.
I played in top four Santiago at the last set champs, not this current one, and our game started at
Mm,
like 6:30 a.m. and like I felt good in game one, game two, and then game three. I'm just like I just want to go home. Like, and that was like probably the worst game I've ever played in terms of like just I don't care. Like,
oh
just finish
my
me off.
god.
Whoa,
That's crazy. Cause like one of our team members as well, Dewey, he in 24 hours he went to 3 set champs, which is like
Oh my
just
god.
I
insane
was
to think about. Like I'm like, how does that happen?
I was supposed to too after the Chupacabra one, and then I slept through it and missed the one that you were playing at.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
that
in
one,
I was
oh my god. I drove an
yeah.
hour and 20 minutes and then hit traffic and I was still 20 minutes late and then realized that I was missing a couple cards. So like when traffic would come to a standstill, I'd be DMing one of my friends that was there and was like, "Hey, I forgot these 3 commons at home. Can you find them? And then also, can you distract everybody and buy me like 20 minutes?" I walk in and I forget who it was I was playing against, but it was like one of our buddies. And I walk in and I'm like, "Dude, I'm so sorry." He's like, "It's fine." He's like, "I know what you're playing. You know what I'm playing. Let's just like shuffle up real quick." And we still managed to finish before like most everybody else. It was fine.
Yeah,
That's
that was
crazy.
actually in like the TIA tournament. My power went out, and so like I should have gotten like a game loss or because we hadn't started yet. It like went out right before, and I couldn't get it up like in the 10 minutes, and so I was playing against
Damn,
that
that's a long
Fabian
time
guy
to not
from
be able to
Europe,
get it up.
and he was a really good sport, and just said, "Hey, if we go to time, the win's mine, but we could play the games," and so and we played the games, and I luckily got him, but he like for sure one of the best sports in the game for
I,
letting that happen.
I was gonna say, I feel like Red Blue during set champs were not performing pretty good actually. I the what did I go to 3? I went to 3. No, I went to 2. And I'm not saying that like, this is like a fact, like Red Blue sucks, but the 2 that I went to, they did not perform well because of there was like a lot of Green Steel players that knocked them
Because
out
Justin was
actually.
there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Green Steel players that actually knocked them out, which is like, is it surprising? Not really. How do you guys think about the Green Steel matchup with the
I
Well, wait, real
current
quick.
list
I don't think
nowadays?
it's that bad, honestly.
Hold up. Before we like fully get into set champs real fast, Jeff, do you have anything else going on either with you or your team that you wanna plug real quick before we move on?
Sure. I have my next episode of Lorcana Gone Wild coming out in the next, I think
Hey
actually
yo.
tomorrow, where we showcase the craziest and most insane collections. And I've got something like that's a true one out of like one. And I'm actually bidding on it on eBay. I FOMO'd myself right now.
Oh
But
no.
there's only one of these cards like in existence so far, and I want it. And so. Well,
Interesting.
actually, be good advertising, but I probably shouldn't post it if I want to win this auction, like realistically, because people will just go bid on it. But anyway, we're kind of going wild tomorrow at some time. My editor is going to be posting it.
Well, so just for people who don't know what it is, what the series is about, just kind of explain what it is.
It's like MTV Cribs, but for really like crazy Lorcana collections. Like I find people that have either really expensive collections or really nicely displayed ones. This time we're going to be going and doing an interview with one of the biggest collectors in the game, and we're
That's
showcasing
really cool.
over $300,000 worth of collections
Oh
between
Of
4
Lorcana
people.
strictly?
Of Lorcana, of that 4 people own, and one of them doesn't even have a price on
How
it.
do you
But
even get to that much?
yeah,
Oh.
there's something that I don't think that should even exist. That is actually like insane. Like you don't want to miss it. I don't want to spoil it because it's like the ending of the video, but um, yeah, you've never seen this before.
It's a one of one Jeff card.
No. This isn't even the one of one. The one of one card. You've not seen this card before, but you've seen variations of it. Um, but this other item is just absolutely like stunning. And somebody sent it anonymously to me because of fear of like retaliation because they shouldn't have this. But
Ooh.
Maybe they'll pull Wizards of the Coast and send the Pinkertons.
yeah,
Oh.
Actually, that reminds me. I don't know if you guys saw. There was a screenshot floating around Twitter of a shop on TCG Player that has an inventory of like 900 plus enchanted Elsas.
Oh,
What?
is it Adam from Hot Sauce?
right.
He's got like thousands of enchanteds.
Dude, yeah, because doesn't he open like 20 cases himself?
No, he doesn't open. He just buys.
Just so he can get foils.
Yeah, he doesn't open. I don't think he opens. Yeah.
He opened when he would sell at DLCs because he needed like
Mhm.
a lot of Diablos, but he doesn't open.
Mm.
Anymore.
Right.
I think that's actually a pretty good segue, unless Jeff, unless you have anything else to add on there. Speaking of hot sauce, I think we got to throw it to Justine to tell us about his set champs experience at Hot
Yeah.
Sauce Games.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I won the, or not won actually. Honestly, like these set champs recently, uh, but the last round is just like, I don't know, I just don't have the energy for it. And then, like, especially this one, because like aside from this thing, I don't
What's
know
that?
if I don't know if there's
that
anything
a
else that's
nightlight?
like
What did
kind
you
of like
show?
worth like playing for, you know. So but yeah, I went to finals twice. Saturday was pastimes, and then hot sauce was another one, and then we just split it, and now it's just like, let me get the biggest price for any of the set champs for this month, and you can just get the rest, which was this one. Beep 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 beep. Hold on, I gotta show you guys this one.
Oh my god, dude. You're supposed to have this ready pre-recording, dude.
Beep 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 beep. Dude, look how crazy that is though. That is dude, hot sauce. If you ever watch our stuff, dude, this is crazy. Like, this is the miracle candle, Mirabelle on top. I mean, dude, do you really want like the Mirabelle
Yeah.
card over this? I don't know. I feel like this is kind of like
I'm gonna be
very
honest. I
exciting.
want that more.
I think that's why I was just like, and then to spite Jeff too. But
To spite
uh,
Jeff. What do you mean?
I would never imagine that. No, because it couldn't go. But I played yeah, I played two different decks. Pastime Saturday I played Green Steel, and then Sunday I played Zero to Hero Amber Steel, aggro.
Zero to Hero Amber Steel aggro. Wow. I'm gonna need to see that list.
I don't like that we're even bringing it up here.
Why? Zero to
Cause
Hero is already
it's
like
my
a card.
it's my spice that I
It
came
is
up
your
with.
spice. So here's the thing, right? Me, SPJ, I swear to God, you can, because in our Discord we have like a channel of like all the different colors, right? And on the Amber Seal, you scroll all the way up. I swear to God, I would mention Zero to Hero Pete on turn 3 after you aerial, because like the idea or like the dream is like to go turn 3. You have 3 characters
I'm
on
checking
board.
the tapes.
You have 3 characters on board, right? You play aerial, and then you Zero to Hero with the Cinder, and play Pete on top of aerial, and then you can like guarantee your Singer 5 next turn. So that was the main idea.
You're saying
but
you
then,
said that?
yeah,
Because
that was
I
like
just
the,
remember how lonely I felt playing Zero to Hero, with how much hate I was getting from
that was not
this
for me. That
bottom
was not
right,
for me.
from
It was
this
not for
bottom
me.
right rectangle, wearing
This
this
one?
pink fluffy hoodie, and Santi shaking his head at me, which he's probably shaking his head right now listening to this.
Yeah, he is. I bet you.
And
I am too.
and it works really well, actually.
Yeah, so like I
Really
was a
well.
fan. So but like I want to say that you did like definitely push me to play it for sure, because when I was watching your games, I was very convinced like if there was a a form of card that Amber Steel could play that could get us ahead, or even more ahead by like playing multiple characters at once. I think uh, Lantern kind of
Yeah, isn't
has
that just
that.
Lantern?
Yeah, it kind of has that idea, but
It's
what in
different because
Lantern.
lantern and like flute makes you use up the ink to without the board presence. And then flute requires the song, which there are a lot of times where you don't get that song, or like you don't want to play 4 flutes, so you like that you want to play like 2 maybe, and then you aerial 1, and then the flute just doesn't even matter. Like Zero to Hero gets you that extra card.
I'm like, do I have
Dude.
a cat?
And like
My cat just woke up.
what was it just this last, so we play test a lot, right? And it sounds to a lot of people that hear about it like, oh, this is just, that's a long shot, like it doesn't happen that often, like, you know, you need a combo of cards. The amount of times I've played the aerial Pete is probably like 50% of my games, if that's what I want to
never
do.
executed it. I never
Or it's like
executed it.
aerial on turn 2 instead of turn 1.
Never executed that either. Although
See,
those are
like
real,
I do
really
this
good
all, but I
plays,
was
yeah.
playing it a lot more than you were, and I was
Yeah, I
doing
only
that
played 2
all the
copies of Zero
time.
to Hero, and you play 3.
Right,
So-
and then when you get it after there, so there was a game against DQ where he was playing Green Steel, right? He has double Diablo, and it was turn 4. It was turn 4. I was able to sing A Whole New World, so he draws 21, and then I was able to play out a lot of my hand, like pretty much my entire hand except for maybe 3 cards, sing Zero to Hero with something, play Naveen, play A Whole New World, and just discarded all 21 cards that he drew. So like that happens
got
a lot
greedy.
too, where I get 4 on the board and then sing Zero to Hero, play Naveen, and then play A Whole New World, and it just presents like way
that's
more board
nasty.
presence way earlier.
Yeah, so I feel like the card like Zero to Hero is probably like the star of the show, right? And so Johnny Boy here, he doubled down on the whole idea of the deck, which is like spam, 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 a whole new world, Zero to Hero, spam, 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 a whole new world. I kind of made like a mid range because I never want to like double down on like one idea, because if that one idea like falls, then your entire deck just sucks,
I
right?
think
So that's why I kind of just played 2 Zero to Hero, and then I'm like, if it happens, it's like really cool, and like, you're way ahead one time, anyways. It's not like you need to. My thing is like you don't need to like Zero to Hero like 3 times in one game. I feel like one time is like so good already. Like Pete Ariel on turn 3 is already insane. I don't need to do that again. If I have to do that again, I feel like the deck sucks. Because like. But like a lot of the things that I have done during the set champs was like playing Robin Hood and Naveen at the same time, which is like super strong because like it guarantees you not only a big body but like 2 clusters and then like whole new world singers. So yeah, and I even outed like I played mirror match round 1, and she played Cinder on turn 5, but I had like 8 dudes on the board and I just strengthed it and it just died. Like it was crazy.
that had to
But
feel pretty good.
yeah, I was definitely ahead because of that card. But yeah, it was pretty fun. I still want to like dabble on the idea of Zero to Hero and how much like we could limit test with it. But yeah, I think Green Steel. I'm still on the Green Steel because like Seattle's coming up. But yeah, I definitely want to mess with this deck more.
Yeah, I personally feel like right now the strongest version of this deck is from testing all the different. I mean, you tested the other versions more than I have, but
Oh yeah,
just from an idea of like it being a 2-drop song, and the reason why I like 3, 4 can be excessive, obviously because it's uninkable too. But the thing is, like a lot of times you'll play Aerial, it's like A Whole New World, Zero to Hero. Like you're gonna pick A Whole New World, so you're throwing Zero to Hero to the
absolutely.
bottom.
That's true
And like
too.
getting Zero to Hero after A Whole New World is phenomenal because most of the time you have 3 or 4
Dude,
characters on board. Then you can like
broken.
sing with a
Yeah.
2-drop or Cinderella, and then
And you
play
have
Pete.
4 bodies on board. Yeah,
Right. So you play Pete. Now they can't get rid of your shit. All they can do is like play another character,
pass.
and then you just fill up your board again, and hopefully you play another Whole New World or whatever. So like for me, against like Green Steel specifically, it's good. The only time it kind of sucks
It
is if
is,
they play
actually.
Ursula and you don't have like a strength to get rid of it, because then obviously they can't, and you don't have a Pete, so they like double sing,
Oh, the 3
you know,
drop.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the only problem against Green Steel. But other than that, I think a wide board against Green Steel is is what you need to do. And then against obviously like red blue, like you can just build up your board until you have Pete, and they can't play B prep. I mean, they can play Sisu, but a lot of the times you have a bunch of 3 strength characters. So unless they have 2 or 3 ice blocks on the board, which means they're not high rimming their items efficiently, or at least unless they have a million popsicles they're drawing. Like,
And-
it's very good against that deck as well. And so I just think it's tough. I think no matter what, Amber Steel right now is Amber Steel. You don't get a whole new world. It's very hard to win the game any version of the deck that you're playing.
Yeah,
but I think if
true.
there is a version of this deck you're going to play, Zero to Hero just gives you a much better chance against the strong decks right now.
And,
Yeah,
and I feel like
so-
we don't have a choice to play anything else like mid range and stuff like that. I feel like we have to lean on to the aggro strategy of Amber Steel. So I feel like Zero to Hero is like a really good, I guess, new discovery or new rediscovery card. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is really close to what Boomy top 32'd with at Vegas a couple weeks ago. Obviously he didn't have any Zero to Heroes, but it's like a pretty similar shell, and so that's definitely really, really interesting to consider.
Yeah,
Now,
and
Jeff,
there's a
does this
lot of
have you
times where
worried?
you've
Worried?
what was that?
I wouldn't play it. But I'm not.
As a fellow red blue player, are you happy to hear these guys try to talk people into playing Amber Steel?
I do.
This is scarier, to be honest, from Red Blue. Like, Steel Song finally can actually beat Red Blue, so it's
Yeah.
not like free wins like it used to be in set 3 and to an extent set 4. But back like on your set champs too, because you said that you got that sweet trophy, and so I couldn't be there to defend my title, but so I was happy that you got the trophy because I got the first 2 ones here.
We collected them all. Yes, sir.
gotta collect them all.
You're missing one, buddy.
I know.
Man, I gotta try to make it out to the next one, I guess.
You should.
He's gonna have just a frame on the wall of 1 through 50, and number 3 is gonna be empty. gonna be like, what happened here?
And Adam really wants to do a 2K because he wants to do a giant Maleficent trophy, and he has a
Oh my
really good
God.
like 3D model for it.
Dude,
So
that's crazy. Which Maleficent though? The
The
dragon.
dragon, right?
not the dragon. It's like her in the black, like the
Joffrey?
famous like pose, like the black
Oh, okay,
Mm.
okay.
gown and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. That'd be dope. That would be super dope, actually. I love this idea that like we can do stuff like this. This is just dope. Like it's very
Yeah, super
Disney.
cool.
Yeah, I was like, I want that so bad. So that's the set champ. Of course, that's my local store too. That's why I'm gonna go there as well.
True.
But yeah, the fact that they go above and beyond, I want those trophies so bad. So like, I was so
Absolutely.
glad to be able to get first place in both of the ones I went to there. So
For $1,000, Jeff, you can have. I'm kidding.
yeah,
Gotta wait until he has the display with the hole missing.
He'll give you a copy of his cookbook.
Oh, you want to see
Trade.
my cookbook?
Like,
I've got 3 kinds of mashed potatoes in there, buddy.
That's the most Midwest thing I've ever heard.
so
Everyone keeps saying that to me. Attack for Two said that was the most Midwest thing too. After I was explaining what
It's because it
pocket dogs
is.
are.
It is.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, that's what I. If you don't know me, I bring pocket dogs to every set champ.
What?
Explain.
So
Well,
like,
I don't see you on set champs. That's why.
yeah,
Yes.
so well, you gotta keep. This is a good rule for DLCs too. You gotta keep food. So like bringing like jerky and snacks, so you get hungry. But I
100%.
bring 2 hot dogs with me to every event and keep them in my pockets. And then like the Peoria crew was just talking to me at Energy last set champ, and I
Like,
just
where's
pulled
that glizzy?
I just pulled a hot dog out of my pocket and started eating it.
No shot.
And they're like, "Where did that come from? And how come every time I walk by you, you just have another hot dog?" And I was like,
Oh
"Gotta
my
prepare
God,
pocket
dude.
dogs." And you know,
Oh,
I
shit.
never
Jeff, I'm gonna
lose
send
because I'm
you
hungry.
A skit.
No, that's so
I'm gonna
valid, though. I
send
do
you a
get hungry
skit
a lot.
from
Oh
you
my
should
God.
you should leave, or what is it? I forgot.
Oh,
if
he
you've ever
definitely
seen
already
it.
knows this.
That's
The-
my head
the
is
hot
from. I think
dog.
you should leave. It's like my favorite show. But
Oh, so
But-
the hot dog when he's in the break room eating the hot dog.
This- It's gonna be
Uh,
Jeff. He finally makes it to a DLC. They have him on coverage, and just like in between games, they cut to the desk, and he's just like there eating a hot dog.
just downing a glizzy.
Big Teddy,
dude.
please, you
Oh
gotta
my
put a
God.
short clip of the video on here so people
Oh
can
my,
see what
it'd
we're
be so
referencing.
funny.
Oh my!
They cut back to him
Oh
just
my
as he's pulling a
God.
hot dog out of his
Out
pocket,
his
and everybody
pocket.
freezes.
so Dalton and Cheyenne from the Peoria crew, they're on their
Right.
drives back from all the set champs. I guess they're bring up the pocket dogs a lot.
Pocket
That's
dogs. That's...
crazy. The
I'm
Peoria
gonna just
crew-
take a
No.
picture of
Peoria
a.
crew
I'm
is
just
so
gonna
cool.
take a picture of a hot dog slightly peeking out of your pocket and make it a Lorcana card, and call it
Yeah.
pocket
My
dog.
God.
The pocket dog.
What's
Yeah.
the
See, I would
ability of
play
pocket dog?
honestly. I'd play Pocket Dog over Zero to Hero any day, Louis.
and that's why I got to choose my set champs carefully because there has to be a Portillo's on the way, so I can get.
I was
said
gonna
pocket
ask, is it a
dogs.
Portillo's hot dog? Maybe
Yeah,
the
Portillo's are
menu
the
item
only
they
ones
have
that
are,
aren't
like,
that messy, so they don't ruin your pocket.
Speaking of Portillo's, I DM'd y'all on Twitter. Do you guys want to sponsor us?
Yeah, right.
Ooh, hey, Midwest.
I
come
mean, I
on.
did just make a comment about how their dogs were the only good item on their menu, but
Really? I had never
They don't
get.
have to
Oh, I
sponsor
actually
me.
do. No, no.
I mean, their
no.
Italian beefs are okay, but
I always
Bro,
get
you're
the
not helping the
combo.
cause for the sponsorship.
True.
I'm going towards the Shake Shack sponsorship. That's what I'm looking
Oh
for.
no.
Their stuff costs more. It makes more sense financially to get a sponsorship from them.
Portillo's all the way.
I feel like Portillo's would be closer, be easier for me to get to.
Yeah, for me.
Probably
I could walk
easier.
down. I could walk down to Portillo's right now if they're open. But
Well, besides Zero to Hero, you guys see anything else cool at Set Champs? Like,
a resurgence of Blurple. That's what I've seen. I played like 3 Blurples. I'm like, what is going on with Blurple right now? Like, is it like the secret green steel tech? But I'm like, I don't see it. Obviously, it's probably not real. I don't know.
the one I
there's a lot
played
of
just had like
Blurple.
a ton of aggro.
Dude,
Really?
how real is non-steel, non-red right now? Like, honestly. Because every time I think about, like, man, I could build this spice, I think it would look pretty good. The amount of times I've gone on Dreamborn and started building a deck, and I'm like, and it's not steel or red in it, and I'm just like, how am I gonna get rid of things, dude?
I-
Like,
you know,
do
I
I just
honestly-
aggro and hope I live?
I honestly feel like, like this meta right now, it does remind me of set 3 a lot. It really does. Like, even though we have like clear top 3, I guess, or top 2, top 3 decks, it still feels like a random deck can just come out and just win an entire DLC out of nowhere, because like I can't say that everything's like balanced, but like I don't know, I just feel like you can play.
But do you
There's
think
nothing
like
like unfair right now, I think.
you'll
Yeah,
have
other than Ice
exceptions,
Block.
right? So like if we're talking about like DLC, you'll have you're always gonna have exceptions because there's 1,000 to 2,000 people that are playing at the event, so you're gonna have decks that avoid their unfavorable matchups and are gonna kind of squeak through, or they're gonna play more favorable matchups. So that's like green purple. I'm thinking
Shit,
of
not
more
me.
so, but like, I can't really see, because of the strength of Diablo right now. I can't really see like a non-steel red deck really like making waves. Like, again, it's got to be that one hyper aggro or green purple that's going to be like, oh, I avoided, no one's playing Sapphire Steel anymore, so like I kind of just like squeaked through by playing some inexperienced like red blue, or I happened to draw the nuts when I played like a certain deck or whatever, and they didn't. I don't know. How do you guys feel about like as far as how strong Diablo is at the moment and green steel? Like, is it viable to play still something other than like red and steel and feel confident?
Yeah, it's tough because that deck, as we saw with Bucky, just feeds on aggro and like slower or really fast paced decks, and so it kind of Green Steel has this unfortunate side effect where it just eliminates all of these B and C tier decks because it's just so strong against them at like absurd win rates, like 80-90%.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I almost got smacked up by a father who also day two'd in Vegas. He's like I deem him to be like one of the better or the best aggro player in Chicago. Like
Yeah.
one like for definitely because his deck building and how he plays. If you guys know him, father Jason Steers,
Yeah.
yeah, he's one of the like honestly like really really good aggro player, but he almost got me and I was shaking. But I'm playing green steel and dude, I mean I had to top deck like what like we don't talk about Bruno and then drawn to let the storm rage on with Ursula and then just ping ping and then that was the game. Like if I didn't top deck Bruno and Storm Mage on specifically, I was toasted. That was it.
Yeah, Jason and DQ are actually the two people that have more wins than losses against me. So they're
Oh yeah, DQ. Yeah, true.
my current arch enemies.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's true. I
Man, we
think
gotta stop dodging each other.
I know, dude. Like literally. But I'm
Oh,
really.
and Nick's daughter Kaylee, she's undefeated versus me as
Oh,
well.
dude, she's a beast.
Yeah,
Yeah, she always tops these set champs too. It's crazy. I'm scared to play her too. I think like if she plays like 4 or 5 more years of TCG, I feel like she's gonna be like a beast.
she's
Like
also
TCG in
terrifying
general.
because
Yeah,
she
she
like
is.
maniacally laughs when she's playing you. So
Yeah, she's like
Oh yeah.
I'll play this Lilo and Quest for 2, and then all you like next thing you know, she's like at
Amazing.
19 and then like have lethal in hand. I'm like, bro, what
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
hell?
she'd be like, "Do you have the be prepared?" And then when you say no, she just giggles at you.
I think I played her the one time at like I think it was Sully's like draft or something, or like
Interesting.
when the set first came out, and she's on you about your stuff too. Like I
Yeah, she
remember I didn't
is.
put my mulligan cards on the bottom. She's like, you're supposed to be putting it on the bottom.
Oh
I'm like, oh
yeah.
no, this is what I'm up against, dude.
trying to cheat a 10-year-old Johnny.
Exactly. I would
I'm
never
like, I can't pull the
personally.
card out my sleeve. She's gonna see that. I'm like,
Yep.
dang.
I would never.
Yeah.
I started shaking the cards out of my sleeves. I was like, yeah, it's not even worth the risk.
Yeah, she's a beast, honestly.
Yeah,
All
but
right,
in
well,
all seriousness, like our local meta has really like developed me as a player. So I appreciate you guys all coming out and always playing the most competitive decks because, like, if you look at our local at Sully's, what is it? 3 or 4 people have continental invites, which is insane for like a 8 to 12 person local.
Yeah, absolutely. It is actually crazy. Yeah, I do. I really have to like give DQ one of our teammates like one of the props too because like he is a really like outstanding player. So I play with him a lot. So I learned a lot from him too. Being
Famous
like
blackjack dealer. Very good.
well, yeah. But he's always on the other side. Like he never plays the deck that I'm playing, which is great because we like probably Bucky's probably the only deck that we both agreed on, but I didn't play it anyways. I ended up on Sapphire Steel because I feel like it's just I always just go against the best deck or whatever. But yeah, he's actually like helped me out a lot.
And
But
I don't know if you guys get this vibe from DQ either, but he's one of the best like mind game players I've gone against because he's always making me feel bad about playing like my play lines like to the point where like it kind of gets in my head a little bit, and I was like, oh man, like
oh,
I don't want to be crushing this guy. Like he's so sad.
I kind of have the opposite experience. Last time I played against DQ was the side event in Vegas. We got paired up.
oh yeah,
He walks over. He sits down on the other side of the table. He like walks over. He shows me melee. He's like, "This is you, isn't it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's me." And he's like, "Oh no!" And I'm just like, "Oh, I'm not feeling bad." DQ, you're getting the world to hurt.
Yeah.
and he plays like 30 hours per set, which is like the craziest thing to me. He does
Oh, he
not
doesn't
have the
even
time to
play that much.
He
Yeah,
doesn't.
he just kind of
Yeah.
naturally just like kind of sees the lines.
Playing's
Yeah,
I mean, there'll be
overrated.
1 or 2 lines where you'd be like, "Why didn't you do this?" And he'll be like, "I don't know, dog, because he got this on the field."
Yeah, literally, it's
I
like,
know,
oh,
like,
why?
oh,
It's
what a good
like,
That's
why
literally
didn't you
exactly
see
what
that?
he'd be
Yeah.
like. He'd be like, because then he's just gonna swing,
He's just
in
gonna
the way
swing
that
it, and then
DQ
I
talks. Like,
lose, and I'm like, true. Yeah.
That's a man after my own heart. Like,
I
dude,
just
why'd you make
remember
that play? Like, because the vibes are bad on that play. That's why you don't play it.
yeah, right.
Like, it doesn't feel
I just
good.
like, I just remember there was one time because like he destroyed me with Ruby Amethyst. I think it was like set 3 or something at Sully's, and then the next week he came with because I played Sapphire Steel, and then he came with Sapphire Steel, and then I destroyed him with Sapphire Steel in the mirror match, and then the next week we came and I'm like, oh, I scared you off Sapphire Steel, and then he just mops me with Ruby Amethyst.
Well-
He's just like triple Minnie Mouse in the sky. I'm like, okay. Well, what am I
He's the
supposed
one
to
that
do?
scared me off Green Steel. Like I was putting in work on Green Steel in the first few weeks of this set, and I was so close, but so far from like the true good Green Steel. Like Kiros was on it too. He was closer than me, but yeah, I should have given it more tries. I couldn't figure out the like red blue lines, and so I gave up on it.
You're talking about this set?
Yeah.
One
Because
of the
remember,
things,
like I was pushing Green
yeah.
Steel
Oh
like
yeah,
week
100%.
one hard. I was like, it's the
Yeah,
best deck.
I
It's
was
so
on
good.
it too. I was on it, and I actually tried it
Yeah,
out
Justin
with
said in our second podcast, he was like,
Yeah.
I suspect Green Steel to come out randomly. Like,
Yeah,
no one
because like
thinks
they just
discards
have
a
really
deck.
good cards, dude. Like I think
Yeah.
just dude, Ursula 3 Diablo, like that's what it is, Jeff. When you posted the the mid range Clarabelle deck, one of the bigger things that I automatically changed. Like I didn't even think about it. I was just like, yeah, take these out, take these out, take these out, add Ursula and Diablo. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's like easy like in my head. But I'm like, because Diablo in my head has always been the card that checked Hiram. Like if there was any card in this game that's like, oh, what outs Diablo, I'm like, or what outs Hiram, because a lot of people are like, Hiram's like 1/6, I can't really out him unless I'm playing red. I'm like, that's not true. If you play Diablo in front of him, he doesn't do anything, or if he does, then it's like
Or you
it's
just got to
better
take
for
that
you.
extra turn.
You just got to
To
be
brawl.
girthy and draw through it.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you say what? Girthy?
Girthy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, the boys are getting wild. Let's start wrapping it up. All right, let's say real quick. You guys don't get 20 minutes to talk about this. All right, we got Seattle coming up. If it was this weekend, what deck are you playing? Johnny, we'll start with you.
John. Yep.
Red blue.
Jeff, what are you playing?
Whoa.
Red blue, of course.
Whoa.
My list, I think, was 4 cards different from what Sailor played. So we're pretty locked in on like our idea of the format and stuff. And so he's on Scar. I'm not on Scar. After watching his games for Ruby Amethyst, I might be on Scar. But
I still
yeah,
gotta convince you on the Stone Dragon, but other than that,
I'll
I
try
think the
one
deck's probably
tomorrow.
good.
Let's be bad if I can find it. I'm playing 1 Cusco, 1 Hideaway because I don't have 2 Hideaways.
Dude, Stone Dragon is like a card
Perfect.
for
All right,
me.
Justine, what deck are you playing?
I'm going Green Steel for sure. Like I feel so confident in like the high roll of the deck. Like it's like if you draw the cards, it's just impossible for your opponent to just
Yeah,
win if you just draw the cards.
And Green Steel really preys on inferior players as well.
For sure, it punishes them for sure, 100%.
Because you have to play like you can beat Green Steel, you just have to play it right and know
Right.
what you're doing. You have to have a game plan because it's not like just play your cards. You have to play like
Exactly.
differently than most other games.
Exactly.
Right.
You have to play differently.
Here's what we'll say, Justine. After this, send me a Green Steel list, and then for Sunday, I'll flip a coin and decide if I'm playing Green Steel on no reps or if I'm just playing whatever blue red deck I have sleeved up.
Green Steel.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I think I think this is a pretty good place to end it. I know everybody's getting sleepy. My cat really wants food.
Yeah. I told
but
my
thank
wife I
you.
would be in bed an hour ago. So.
Yeah. So thank you, Jeff, for coming by. We'll get your plug first so you can get out of here.
Yeah, I
if you
appreciate
wanna
this was so
plug
much
your
fun.
Twitter and stuff. Let us know what you got.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Ink Thieves. Join our Discord. We play a lot of cam games. We're trying to get that going a lot more. So just come hang out there and play some cam games and test. I'm down to test or whatever all the time. I'm trying to stream a little bit on Twitch those games where I'll talk about it. I got a hand camera now, so you can see my hand as I play, which I think really adds a bit of depth to watching people. So
True.
Oh yeah, that definitely helps.
I agree.
If you're in the 20 lore Discord, if you try out Stone Dragon and you think it's nuts, make sure to put a message, tag me, but also tag Jeff, just so I can get the compilation going.
True.
All right,
So
thank you,
nice.
Jeff. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you soon.
Deuces.
Johnny.
I'm too old to say that.
Johnny, thank you for joining us this week. You wanna plug yourself real quick for me?
It's been nice. I'm Johnny.
Perfect.
Yes, sir.
Justine, you got anything for the people?
Yeah. I am the GBF in a lot of Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud as well. Check that out if you guys haven't checked
Oh,
it out. Also YouTube. Yeah, I have my own YouTube channel that's dead, but we'll have more games there for sure.
awesome. And I, of course, can always be found at Stone Dragon _ on Twitter if you want the memes and the shit posts. That's most of what I have. Every once in a while, I'll post some actual content, but that's most of it. You can find the team at Backseat Genius TCG, if I'm not mistaken.
True.
I can't remember our Twitter, dude. I'm sorry, it's bad. Check us out there. Check us out on YouTube. Check out the podcast wherever you're listening to it or watching it right now. If you aren't already watching it on YouTube, it's on YouTube. If you aren't checking it out on Spotify, it's there as well. I know Teddy said we had some issues with the Spotify, but I think we're all good now. And then, of course,
Nice.
we want to thank our sponsor, Supernova, once again. Check them out at supernovatnc.com. We love them. They love us. We love all of you. I think that'll do it for us this week. Thank you guys for joining us. Can't wait to see y'all again. Peace out. Have a good one.